I believe that the school district is once again in violation of Missouri law. This time, it's Missouri statute 162.058. I have had this particular law quoted to me multiple times by the school board president over the last few months when I would complain about what I believe is an unnecessary limitation on the freedom of speech during a school board meeting. Mrs. Ice references this law and says they are justified to do so under this Missouri statute. I finally got around to reading the law today, and again, I believe that the school district and the Board of Education are in violation of this law. Items 1 and 2 are what they have done, and down here, items 1 through 5 define the limitations that the board may choose, not required, to place upon the citizens of the community. And by the way, they did all of these. They didn't elect to forego any of them. They did everything. But let's get back into what their requirement under the law was. Before July 1st of 2023, each school district, we don't have any charters, so that doesn't apply, after receiving community input, implement a community engagement policy that provides residents of the school district methods of communicating with the school board. And again, this gets into charter schools, so that doesn't really pertain. The community engagement policy shall create a process allowing any resident of a school district to have an item placed on the agenda of the school board meeting. So this law required the school district to hold a public meeting to receive input from the community, and after receiving input from the community, to draft a policy that would define the process of getting an item added to the agenda. That policy also needed to include any of these last 5 items, the limitations that the board wanted to place on the First Amendment during those board meetings. So, hold a public meeting, draft the policy. Well, the school district placed the cart before the horse. They created the policy and then asked for community engagement. So let's look. These are the minutes from the March 2023 school board meeting. Although they didn't include them very well in the minutes, and that's a whole other topic, Policy BDDH1. This is the policy that they amended to implement the changes, items 1 through 5, that they had the option of enforcing against the members of the community. They included them in this policy update that they did in March. Okay, back to the law. They must first meet with the community, receive input, and then draft these policy changes. They came to this meeting without ever having had that meeting. They did not meet with the community. They did not receive input from the community. They talked amongst themselves and decided what that community engagement plan is going to look like. And how do we know that they didn't hold that community engagement plan? Again, to the school records. These are the minutes for the June 19th, 2023 meeting. I will read this to you. Mrs. Ice called the listening session on community engagement to order at 6 p.m. This is the meeting that this law requires shall hold. They received input from the community after they already created the policy. Again, cart before the horse. However, if you look at what we talked about during the community engagement, and this is the official minutes that the board passed for that meeting, nowhere in here was there any discussion, any input received from the community on implementing the policy and the process to have an item added to the agenda. They did not comply with the law. Not only did they do it backwards, even when they held a meeting, they didn't accept any community input. They ignored the community input because they'd already made the decision for us back in March.